Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm 78 years old now, and 4 years ago, I was absolutely terrified of the small computer everyone kept calling a smartphone. Today, I want to share the story of how one frustrating afternoon at the Apple Store completely transformed my relationship with technology, and how it could change yours too. The day I nearly threw my phone in the trash. March 2021. Standing in my kitchen, staring at this $800 piece of glass and metal that might as well have been written in ancient hieroglyphics. My granddaughter had just given me her old iPhone for my 74th birthday, insisting I needed to join the 21st century. For 3 weeks, I'd been carrying this thing around like a fancy paperweight. I could answer calls if I was lucky enough to swipe in the right direction. Texting was a nightmare of autocorrect disasters. I'd accidentally called people while trying to check the time. I'd taken more photos of the inside of my pocket than actual subjects. The final straw came when I tried to video call my son in Denver. After 15 minutes of jabbing at icons, I somehow managed to call 3 random people in my contacts, turn on the flashlight, and open something called TikTok that started playing loud music. I was ready to go back to my old flip phone and forget this smartphone nonsense entirely. That's when my neighbor Rose knocked on my door. Rose was 82, legally blind in one eye, and was casually scrolling through her phone like she'd invented the thing. While I was struggling with basic functions, she was showing me photos from her morning walk, checking her blood pressure readings, and ordering groceries for delivery. All from that little screen. "Harold," she said, watching my frustrated expression, "you're making this harder than it needs to be. A smartphone isn't a computer you need to master. It's a tool designed to make your life easier. You just need to learn 7 simple things, and everything else becomes obvious." I looked at her skeptically. 7 things? She smiled. "Would you like me to show you?" Rose's Revolution. The 7 Foundation Skills. 2 days later. I'm sitting in Rose's living room, feeling like I'm back in school for the first time in decades. "Harold," she said, holding up her phone, "when you learned to drive, did you try to understand how the engine worked before you started the car?" "Of course not." "Exactly. You learned the basics, gas, brake, steering, and built from there. Smartphones work the same way." What Rose showed me next changed everything. Instead of trying to learn every feature, she focused on 7 fundamental skills that unlocked everything else. Number 1, the home navigation system. Understanding your home screen and how to get back to it. Number 2, the contact connection. Adding, calling, and texting the people who matter. Number 3, the app ecosystem. Finding, organizing, and using the tools you need. Number 4, the photo memory keeper, taking, viewing, and sharing pictures easily. Number 5, the Internet Explorer, browsing safely and finding information. Number 6, the Security Guardian, protecting yourself from scams and problems. And number 7, the Emergency Assistant, using your phone when you need help most. Master these 7 areas, Rose said, and you'll use your smartphone with confidence. Everything else is just extra features you can explore when you're ready. I was intrigued, but skeptical. "How did you figure this out?" Rose's expression grew thoughtful. "When my husband passed 3 years ago, I realized I couldn't depend on him to handle all the technology anymore. I could either learn or become helpless. I chose to learn, but I had to find a way that made sense to someone who grew up before computers existed." The light bulb moment. that afternoon, Rose taught me something revolutionary. Traditional approach: try to learn everything at once, get overwhelmed, give up, stay dependent on others. Rose's approach: master one foundation skill, build confidence, add the next skill, gradually become independent. The secret, Rose explained, is understanding that smartphones are designed by people who assume you already know how to use smartphones. But once you understand the basic patterns, everything follows the same logic. She was right. Every app, every function, every feature follows predictable patterns, once you understand the fundamentals. My 30-day transformation. Walking home, I felt something I hadn't experienced since getting the phone: curiosity instead of dread. For the first time, I had a path that didn't depend on memorizing 1,000 functions I'd never use. Days 1 to 7, foundation skill number 1, the home navigation system. Rose's first lesson was simple. Your home screen is like the lobby of a hotel. No matter where you go in the building, you can always get back to the lobby.
She taught me 3 essential moves.
The home button or gesture. This is your panic button. No matter where you are, no matter what you've accidentally opened, press this and you're back to familiar territory. The app layout. Arrange your most important apps on the first screen. Everything else can wait until you're comfortable. The control center. Swipe down from the top right. This gives you quick access to Wi-Fi, flashlight, and other tools without hunting through menus. By day 3, I could navigate around my phone without panic. By day 7, I'd arranged my home screen with the 5 apps I actually needed: phone, messages, photos, weather, and Safari. The fear was melting away. Days 8 to 14, foundation skill number 2, the contact connection. Communication is why you have this phone, Rose said during our second session. Everything else is bonus. She taught me the art of contact management, the contact card system. Instead of memorizing phone numbers, Rose showed me how each person becomes a card with their name, photo, and all their information in one place. The favorites shortcut. Put your most important people in favorites. One tap to call your daughter, your doctor, your closest friends. The message mastery. Rose revolutionized my texting by teaching me 3 simple tricks: how to use the microphone button to speak my texts instead of typing, how to send photos with messages, and how to create group conversations for family updates. By day 14, I was confidently calling people, sending messages, and even sharing photos via text. My daughter was amazed when I sent her a picture of the sunset with the message, "Thought you'd enjoy this?" Typed correctly. No autocorrect disasters. Days 15 to 21, foundation skill number 3, the app ecosystem. This was the lesson that truly opened my eyes to what my phone could do. Think of apps like tools in a workshop, Rose explained. You don't need every tool, but the right tools make specific jobs much easier. Rose introduced me to 5 life-changing apps. Weather app. Instead of watching the morning news for weather, I could check conditions anytime and see the weekly forecast. Maps app. No more printed directions or getting lost. My phone became my personal navigator. Camera app. Beyond just taking pictures, Rose showed me how to zoom, use the timer, and even scan documents. Health app. Tracking my daily walks, monitoring my heart rate, and storing my medical information in one place. Settings app. This is your phone's control room. Don't be afraid of it. Just don't change things randomly. By day 21, I was using my phone as a tool rather than fighting with it as an enemy. Days 22 to 28, foundation skill number 4, the photo memory keeper. Photos are the heart of smartphones, Rose said. This is where the magic happens. She taught me the complete photo workflow. Taking better pictures, how to tap the screen to focus, when to use portrait mode, and why cleaning the lens matters more than expensive cameras. Organizing your memories, the Photos app automatically sorts by date, but Rose showed me how to create albums for special events, trips, and family moments, sharing made simple, instead of struggling with email attachments. I learned to share photos through messages, create shared albums for family, and even print directly from my phone. The breakthrough moment came when I successfully created a shared album of my garden progress and invited my whole family to view it. Suddenly, my scattered children and grandchildren were commenting on my tomatoes and asking for gardening advice. For the first time, my smartphone was bringing my family closer together instead of making me feel left behind. Days 29 to 30, foundation skills, number 5, 6, and 7, the advanced essentials. Rose saved the most important skills for last. Foundation skill number 5, the Internet Explorer. The internet on your phone is like having the world's largest library in your pocket, she said. She taught me Safari basics, how to search for information, bookmark useful websites, and most importantly, how to tell reliable sources from questionable ones. If you're not sure about medical information, check with websites ending in .gov or .edu, she advised. Foundation skill number 6, the security guardian. This lesson might have saved me thousands of dollars. Rose taught me the red flags. Real companies don't call you about problems with your computer. Real banks don't text you asking for passwords. If someone creates urgency and asks for personal information, it's probably a scam. She showed me how to verify suspicious contacts, how to block unwanted calls, and most importantly, how to trust my instincts. When something feels wrong, it usually is. Foundation skill number 7, the emergency assistant. The final lesson was about using my phone when I needed help most. Rose taught me about emergency SOS, how to add medical information to my lock screen, and how to set up emergency contacts. She also showed me practical safety features like sharing my location with family and using the flashlight in dark situations. Your smartphone isn't just entertainment, she said. It's potentially life-saving technology. By day 30, I wasn't just comfortable with my phone, I was genuinely grateful for it. Building my digital confidence. Mastering Rose's 7 foundation skills opened doors I never expected. Month 2, discovering useful apps. Once I understood how apps worked, I started exploring tools that solved real problems. Magnifier turns my phone's camera into a magnifying glass for reading small print. Voice memos, recording grocery lists, reminders, and even song lyrics I wanted to remember. Calculator. Beyond basic math, I discovered currency conversion for online shopping and tip calculation for restaurants. Notes, replacing the scraps of paper I used to lose. Now I keep shopping lists, book recommendations, and important information organized in one place. Month 3, connecting with family. My newfound confidence transformed family relationships, video calls. Face-to-face conversations with grandchildren across the country became routine. rather than special occasions requiring technical support. Photo sharing. Instead of waiting months to share printed photos, I was sending real-time updates of daily life, garden progress, cooking experiments, neighborhood walks, group messages. Our family created a group chat where everyone shares updates. I went from being excluded from family communication to being an active participant. Social connection. I joined my church's WhatsApp group, staying informed about events and prayer requests without waiting for Sunday announcements. Month 4. Practical independence. The smartphone became my independence tool, navigation, driving to new places without anxiety, knowing I couldn't get lost. Research, comparing prices before purchases, reading reviews before trying new restaurants, looking up information without bothering family members, scheduling, managing my own calendar, setting reminders for appointments, and coordinating schedules with friends, banking, checking account balances, depositing checks by taking photos, and transferring money without visiting the bank. By month 4, I realized I wasn't just using a smartphone. I was living more independently than I had in years. The psychology that changes everything. The most profound change wasn't technical, it was psychological. Before, technology felt like a barrier between me and the world. Every interaction was stressful. Every mistake felt like failure. Every new feature seemed designed to confuse me. After, technology became a bridge connecting me to people, information, and experiences. I approached new features with curiosity rather than fear, knowing I could always return to familiar ground. This shift from technology-phobic to technology-curious has enriched my life in ways I never anticipated. Why age is actually your advantage. One of my biggest mental barriers was believing that smartphones were young people's technology. Rose showed me why experience actually provides advantages, patience for learning. Unlike younger users who rush through features, I take time to truly understand each function before moving on. Focus on practical value. I don't get distracted by games or social media drama. I use technology for communication, information, and practical tasks. Appreciation for simplicity. I prefer apps and features that work reliably, rather than the latest flashy updates. Quality over quantity. I maintain meaningful connections rather than collecting hundreds of superficial online relationships. Wisdom to avoid pitfalls. Life experience helps me recognize scams, avoid time-wasting apps, and maintain healthy boundaries with technology. Age doesn't make smartphone learning harder. It makes it more intentional and valuable. Your 7-day quick start guide. If this resonates with you, here's your path to smartphone confidence. Day 1. Master your home screen. Spend 30 minutes arranging your home screen. Put your 5 most important apps front and center: phone, messages, photos, and 2 others you actually need. Everything else can be moved to later screens or folders. Practice the panic button, finding your way back home no matter where you accidentally navigate. Day 2. Conquer contacts. Add 5 important people to your contacts with photos. Put your 3 most important contacts in favorites. Practice calling and texting these people until it feels natural. Ask family members to help you set up contact cards with photos. It makes identifying callers much easier. Day 3. Explore essential apps. Open each app on your home screen. Don't try to master them. Just familiarize yourself with what they do. Practice opening apps and returning home. Focus on understanding the patterns. Most apps have similar navigation elements once you know what to look for. Day 4. Take and share photos. Take 10 photos of things around your house. Practice viewing them, deleting bad ones, and sharing one via message to a family member. Clean your camera lens and practice tapping the screen to focus. These 2 tips alone will dramatically improve your photos. Day 5. Browse the internet. Open Safari and search for 3 things you're curious about: a recipe, a question about your health, information about your hobby. Practice bookmarking useful websites and returning to them later. Day 6. Security awareness. Review your emergency contacts and medical ID information. Practice recognizing the signs of scam calls or texts. Set up your phone's built-in security features and learn to trust your instincts about suspicious communications. Day 7. Emergency preparedness. Learn how to use emergency SOS and share your location with trusted family members. Practice using the flashlight and other emergency tools. Store important information like medical conditions and emergency contacts in your phone's medical ID section. By day 7, you'll have functional smartphone skills and the confidence to explore further. Common concerns answered. I'm too old to learn new technology. This is never true. The same intelligence that helped you navigate decades of life can master a smartphone. Age brings patience and focus that actually accelerate learning. I don't want to become dependent on technology. You're choosing independence through technology. Instead of depending on others for information, navigation, and communication, you're developing self-sufficient skills. What if I break something? Modern smartphones are remarkably difficult to break through software mistakes. The worst that usually happens is you accidentally open an app or change a setting, both easily fixed. I don't need all these features. You don't need to use every feature. Focus on the functions that solve real problems in your life. Ignore everything else until you're ready to explore. Technology changes too fast to keep up. Foundation skills remain consistent, even when specific apps update. Once you understand the basic patterns, new features become intuitive rather than overwhelming. The real transformation. At 74, when I got my first smartphone, I felt like the world was leaving me behind, like I was becoming irrelevant in an increasingly digital society. Now, at 78, I realize that smartphones don't replace human connection. They enhance it. I'm more connected to family, more informed about the world, and more independent in daily life than I was before. I'm not trying to become a technology expert. I'm using technology as a tool to remain engaged, connected, and self-reliant. Rose's final wisdom. Last year, Rose moved to assisted living after a fall. When I visited her, my first concern was whether she'd lost her digital independence. Actually, she said, showing me her phone, this place has better Wi-Fi than my old house. I'm video chatting with my great-grandchildren, ordering books for delivery, and even taking a virtual art class. Rose had adapted her smartphone use to her new circumstances while maintaining the independence and connection it provided. The wonderful thing about these foundation skills, she told me, is they work regardless of your situation. Whether you're traveling, dealing with health challenges, or just getting older, your phone adapts with you. The lesson in adaptation. Rose's experience taught me that smartphone skills aren't just about convenience. They're about maintaining autonomy and connection as life circumstances change. When mobility decreases, your phone brings the world to you. When family is scattered, it keeps relationships strong. When memory becomes less reliable, it serves as an external brain for important information. The skills you learn today become increasingly valuable as you age. The community connection. Learning smartphone skills opened unexpected social opportunities. Church group. I joined my congregation's group chat, staying informed about events and participating in prayer chains. Neighborhood watch. Our community uses messaging apps to share safety information and coordinate neighborhood activities. Hobby groups. I connected with other gardeners online, sharing photos and getting advice for plant problems. Family network. Extended family members who were just names on Christmas cards became regular contacts through photo sharing and group messages. Technology enhanced rather than replaced real-world community connections. Planning for the future. At 78, I'm thinking about how smartphone skills will evolve with my needs. Current phase, using phones for communication, information, and independence in daily activities. Next phase, leveraging health monitoring apps, medication reminders, and telehealth appointments. Later phase, emergency assistance, simplified interfaces, and maintaining family connections regardless of physical limitations. Learning smartphone skills now is an investment in future independence and safety. The letter to my past self. If I could write to myself at 70, I'd say, stop being intimidated by technology that's designed to help you. Start with basic communication features and build confidence gradually. Ask for help from patient teachers, not frustrated family members. Remember that smartphones aren't about keeping up with young people. They're about maintaining your independence and connections as you age. The effort you put into learning now will pay dividends for years to come. Your starting point. If you've made it this far, you're ready to begin your own smartphone transformation.
Here's your first assignment. Pick up your phone and spend 10 minutes just exploring your home screen. Don't try to accomplish anything specific. Just get familiar with tapping icons and returning home.
Touch every app icon to see what it does. Then practice getting back to your home screen. That's all. Just 10 minutes of exploration without pressure or goals. But I predict that 10 minutes will build confidence for tomorrow's 10 minutes, which will lead to your first successful phone call, which will encourage your first text message, which will unlock your first photo sharing success. The Sunday dinner revelation. Every Sunday, I still have dinner with my family, but now, instead of sitting quietly while others share photos and coordinate plans through their phones, I'm an active participant in family communication. Last week, my granddaughter said something that made me realize how far I'd come. Grandpa, you're better at staying in touch than some of my friends. Your photos always make me smile, and you actually respond to messages. That's my promise to you. Learning smartphone skills isn't about becoming a technology expert. It's about remaining connected, informed, and independent in a world where these tools can significantly enhance your quality of life. The final truth. Rose taught me that smartphones aren't about technology. They're about connection, independence, and maintaining control over your daily life. You have the intelligence to master these tools. You have the patience to learn properly. You have every reason to embrace technology. That makes your life easier and richer. The foundation skills are learnable. The benefits are immediate. The only question is whether you'll take the first step. Your connected future is waiting for you to begin.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more practical wisdom for navigating our digital world. In the comments below, tell me, what's the one smartphone function you most want to master? That might be your perfect starting point.
And remember, in memory of Rose Martinez, who taught me that technology isn't about age, it's about attitude. Learning never stops. And it's never too late to discover tools that can improve your daily life. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep exploring your digital possibilities.